Why spiritual people are depressed. It is depressing to consider this, but I love the spiritual people. I have known them forever, not only in this lifetime, but in many lifetimes also. Why are they depressed? It's a very important question. Historically speaking, the spiritual people already go through an exploration of their own consciousness, which involves uh, depression. And eventually they are able to come out of it, at least some of them. But the whole search is depressive because it is anti-world. It's very interesting that Osho, when he was alive, somewhat answered this question, but the question was slightly different. The question was, somebody asked why spiritual people are poor. He said, it is very simple, because they are spiritual people, they are not material people. So here the question is, why spiritual people are depressed? I can think of one ancient text called Yoga Vasista. It is easily 1,000-year-old, according to some other people. It is timeless and many thousands of years old. There is this yogi who has been meditating for a long time, and he sat on the Himalayas and he was oming all his life. One day he happened to watch some procession going on, and then this was a procession that was on the occasion of the king's birthday. There was music, there was dance, and people were, in a very happy mood. And then he said to himself, the yogi, this is life. What am I doing here? Roaming all the time. I have become so depressed. Then Yoga Vasista says, as soon as this thought came into the mind of this yogi, and because he happened to be an yogi, he quickly finished his lifetime and then was reborn as the king. It makes sense. So the lesson here is one has to really develop a proper relationship with the world of Maya, the world of illusion. Illusion is what is going to give you joy or happiness. So when deprived of senses, you are likely to go into depression. So I want to talk about this at some length through a hangout. And the title will be the same, why spiritual people are depressed. Look forward for the announcement. God bless.